Hello everybody, Daniel here. I'm finally back again, this time using Power Director 10 and hoping that this will work a bit better than last time. Unfortunately, because I couldn't get any help about the aspect ratio, you'll still see a little bit of a black bar effect, but this is the best I can do with what I've got. Now if you remember the last time, we finished the dueling circle, and this time we're in a shed watching an old bloke spin some gears. Now there's a reason for this, and this area becomes a bit more important very soon. But in the meantime, just so you can watch him singing. He does say it's a job that not people like us can do, but frankly it's just one big red switch that looks like a matchstick, so we think he's probably exaggerating somewhat. Anyway, that's against the point. What we now need to do is figure out what has gone wrong with this place. That door's locked. This place is quite suspicious, and you'll probably recognise it if you've seen a previous playthrough of mine, although it has a bit of a decor change. Now if you talk to a few of these people around here, it's quite funny what they say, and this guy here gives you a bit of a hint as to what else you'll be doing in this game later on. Pirate's an old mining town, and he keeps talking about it being down that gap that he was looking down. Not as much of a spoiler because it's pretty obvious, but you will go down there at some point, so be prepared for that. If you're afraid of dark places, this is not the LP for you. Anywho, there's not a lot around here in this game, so we might as well go into the Colosseum and see what's what. There's a guy here, looks a bit dodgy. He didn't make it in time for the registration, but if you win the challenge, apparently you get an awesome Pokemon like the guy called Kale. Now we know a guy called Kale, he's that ridiculous guy with green hair at the front of the town. So let's go and talk to him. Maybe he'll be able to explain the situation to us, because obviously without breaking the fourth wall we have no idea what's happening. So let's go and talk to Kale. This is very important and this is mandatory for the plot, so we shall press ahead. I am very much sorry that this took a while for the last part though, guys. There are a lot of problems and I'm having to improvise a bit, as you know, right now, but hopefully it'll look okay and sound okay. That is the plan. We've got to Kale. He wants to know if he has a weird Pokemon. And because this is Pokemon logic, he will ask questions later and play Pokemon battles first, which I am perfectly fine with, and I've sped this bit up, thank God. The only problem with Power Director 10 is that if you want the audio, you can only go up to 2 times speed. If you go 2 1/4, you can't stretch the speed out and you get silence. And my God, you probably don't want to hear me talking in isolation for a few minutes, so I decided the best compromise was to leave it at 2 times. Ralts is rubbish. Ralts is almost Sunkern level bad, and as we know, Sunkern has the lowest base stat total of any Pokemon in the game, so that's on a par with how good Sunkern is. Now we have Furret here, which is the shadow Pokemon. Do I rate Furret? If you're the Killer Nacho, you probably would rate Furret very highly. I am not the Killer Nacho, so I do not rate it very highly at all, especially not in this game, where it really doesn't do a lot to help you. At this point in the game, actually, it's very useful because it has Stab on Strength, which is a powerful move. Not as a spoiler there, it does have Strength, I believe. But the point is that it really doesn't have many status inflicting moves. It's really not got very good stats. Not a lot's going for it in this game. In this game, it really isn't worth a lot, 1.5 to 2 out of 5. At least you can use it as a gimmick in competitive play, and it is quite cute. So, well, it's a lot cuter in newer games than this. At the moment, it just looks like it's trying to suck on a gobstopper, and it has succeeded in sticking its gob together. The chopper's also gone down, and I'm in hyper mode again. Hyper mode is a pain in the bum, as we all know. But no spoiler alert, there's a bigger pain in the bum about to come up ahead now. I have confused it to try and get some residual damage to knock it down slowly because the confusion can't crit. Unfortunately, other moves that I am using on it can potentially crit. It's helping hand to nobody, the AI with its brilliance there, and I crit, and I have to restart the game because I'm going to catch all the shadow Pokemon. I fast forwarded to pretty much the equivalent when I've had to go through the battle. Unfortunately, I didn't save for quite a while before this battle, so I went away from the keyboard and had a little rage. But I came back again, obviously, hence you'll see in the recording. And second time round, can we capture it? I am trying, as you saw there, and I have alluded to it in previous videos. I am constantly switching in and out to try and get the heart lock bar down a bit more on some of the Pokemon, because it's better to do that gradually over time than it is to do it all at one stage of the game, because it takes ages, and I mean truly ages. And let's try capturing it now with a Great Ball. I shouldn't have to knock it down loading this really, but I said you only can win if you have a chance, and you do. Nice and simple. Which it really should have been, to make up for the fact that it really buggered me off the first time. Now Kale, you've got some splaining to do. That lying Mirror B, he came up with that fancy tough sounding name, Shadow Pokemon, but it was no big deal. You guys be careful too. He's giving them out at the Colosseum. If that isn't a big hint to go there, I don't know what is. Dun dun dun. Zoom ahead. I'll shut up so you can listen to the cutscene. Pretty dark stuff, huh? Anyway, the guy that's Medusa mixed with an exploded turnip seems to be in charge of a big operation, and Mirror B has been handing Shadow Pokemon out in return for data collection, and his obsession with dancing remains, thank God. Anyway, now we're going to go ahead to the Colosseum to see if we can enter ourselves, but we can't because the challenge is underway. So now what we're going to do? Well, the best thing I think we should do is go to Duking and see if he can help us, and he might not be moping still, so I cut ahead to that. And we talk to Duking, and he doesn't want to hear it. He's still moping away. Big hint from the lookout here, there's nothing special behind the bookshelf. Oh my God, there's something special behind the bookshelf, I would never have thought it. Although if you talk to him, even when the opening is there, he will still say exactly the same thing. So he must be a blind lookout. Now, there are 3 kids sat around a table. There are a lot of drinks bottles there, guys. What on earth are you doing? But no, in a more serious context, this is very important for later on in the game, although it is mandatory to do this bit now. You may not quite understand it if you haven't played the game before. That's Marcia. She's very important, but she's busy, so she wants us to come back another time. Although, look how dank those conditions are for those kids. That's a health and safety issue. Oh, who's this kid? He seems pretty angry. That's a good point though, Duking. What are you going to do? They're using you and the Colosseum. What is the matter with you? He must have been quite a big happy chappy in the past. But again, he still doesn't want to hear it. That guy has lost faith in him. Although, to be fair, I lost faith in him ages ago, I can tell you that much. Anyway, we better go track that guy down. Apparently he's called Silver, he's Duking's friend. Not from that confrontation, but he looked very angry. And Duking still isn't going to say anything to us. What a useless sack of crap. Anyway, we better go find Silver. And he said something about the Colosseum, so maybe we should go that way? Yeah, we'll go that way. We'll go to the Colosseum and see what's happened. I won't skip ahead, it's close enough. Oh, hang on, there's a cutscene. And a guy has turned into a zombie! Zombies! Help me. Are you dead? No, he's talking. Silver went in there, oh my God, let's have a look what's happened. The Hoot Nanny man's on the floor. That Silver's gone too far this time. He ripped out and ripped off one of the gears. Well, I don't know what accent that was trying to be. Jesus Christ. But he's taken a gear, and that means the Colosseum's going to have no power. Well, that's one way of taking out what you don't like. Shenanigans. But, yeah. Silver is duking his friend. Why would he do this? Well, what we better do first is go and find that gear. Because inevitably, this is a Pokemon game. And it wouldn't be a Pokemon game without us having to do something like this. Everybody loves a fetch quest. So I suppose we better go on and do that. Anyway, I'll go and find the gear in the next episode, I think, because that's more than enough of an episode. So I will talk to you all another time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Ta-ra!